Hi. And welcome to Coffee and Cocktails TV with
Gemma
and Victoria.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. So our video today is how to fall in love with your competitors. Because we've all got them, or we'll all have them. Some
are a complete figment of your imagination.
Yeah. Some don't play nicely.
No.
Some do, like some are potential partners, you know. So we just thought we'd talk a little bit, because I think sometimes we get so fixated on competitors, and actually you should be focusing on your own game and your own thing, and just use them as inspiration to better your game, basically.
Yeah. And go off on a different tangent. So that sometimes I felt that, like, again, it's another waste of your energy, isn't it? And your resources. You can spend so much time following your competitors that you're not focusing on your business, on your journey, on you. People buy into you, so people are buying into your competitor. So what is it that they're offering? Is it there's something different about them that makes them stand out? And you're never going to infiltrate that part of your niche market. You need to find you and what it is that you bring to this market, what you offer them.
Yeah, they'll have their customers, and you'll have your customers.
Yeah.
And
even within the same niche, I think there's still different people. And the problem is, if you start focusing and spending your energy stalking them or constantly looking and worrying about what they're putting out there and their content and their products or where they are in their journey or wherever, that you, in a way, sometimes you, but subconsciously or without even meaning to, you start copying them, and so that puts you in a really vulnerable position. One, you're not going to get their clients or their customers because they've got them and they're already happy and valued. Two, you're putting yourself out there to be sued, like copyright, to make yourself depressed. Like, if you're constantly comparing yourself to your competitors, it's not a good place to be in.
It's not, and actually there's quite a few different parts of the coin, isn't there? Because I've had competitors who, like back in the early days of the Keepsake Company, I had competitors who copied me, and it was, if it wasn't so obvious, it would be fun. Like you know, do you know what I mean? So I would launch a particular style of frame, and 5 minutes later they'd have the identical one, and it got to the point where I stopped launching anything new because I knew that they would be copying, and actually that was probably quite detrimental to my business, and I was always a step ahead, but it became this big thing, like, oh, I think they just must have looked at my site and done everything.
Yeah. But I think every industry.
Yeah, I think it happens in every industry. But there's also the flip side of that I have read, because you're reading it, aren't you? And I think it's in that book, The Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I'm sure she talks about this, and actually sometimes like an idea can land on two separate people across the opposite ends of the world. And I've seen people get their knickers in a twist so much that someone's copied them. But it is possible that two people have had identical the same idea at the same time, or slightly bits apart, and they haven't seen you. So it is, and I think I've let go of that, and I've had other competitors since. So what I do is I just don't look.
No, and in a way, I think I ended up feeling quite sorry for our competitors like that. That for me, half the fun of the business is being creative and finding new ideas and developing these ideas. And so if they just wanted to copy, they're missing out on a huge fun part of the journey, I think.
Oh, I really like that. Yeah, no, I think so.
Obviously it depends on how you feel.
Yeah, no, but I think at the time, like, it's really frustrating, and I can remember being really frustrated. But having been around the block a few times, like I just don't look. And since then, in the newer business model that I'm doing, I've had a similar competitor who took things a little bit to the extreme. Like, she would book on everything that I did, and it was all quite stalkerish. But I emailed her and said, look, just, look after your own business, and because that's not healthy. That's not healthy for her to be so obsessed with what I'm doing. And so I think you're right at the beginning, like, if you just focus on your own game, do the best that you can, enjoy the process of creating, and don't worry if someone copies you or competes with you,
they're always going to be one step behind, like you say, aren't they? Or they're always, it's going to, eventually it will become obvious. We'd send out emails, and we had a company, look, it was literally announcing a brand new event, and within a few hours we had our customers, our clients, emailing us back another email they forwarded that was literally a copy and paste of our email that this other company had sent out. But they said, especially if you're within one industry, you tend to have the same sort of clientele, and so they almost actually did their business more harm than good. So it's just a really careful game you've got to play.
And I think, but if you don't even look, I mean, people are gonna, if that's gonna happen, you don't need to be looking, because people are gonna tell you, do you know? And I've had that, people go, do you know that such and such has done this? And you know, but I think I'm happier not looking. I just don't look, and yet they might still be, like, you know, they might be doing everything I'm doing, but it doesn't matter, because what I'm doing is working for me. I'm happy. It doesn't matter if they're copying me. Like, there's plenty of business to go around, and I think we're so. And I think if you're focusing on your competitors or you're not buying into abundance.
It's another waste of your energy.
It's a waste of your
so
energy.
many wastes of your energy out there. If your energy and focus is on looking back at what they're doing, again, you're not moving your business forward. That is time that you could be spent making money, but you're not. You're spending. Stressed.
And what a massive compliment. And this is a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but I've had it told me a lot. But it is a massive compliment that they think you're so brilliant, which you are, that they want to copy you, and that your ideas are far better than anything they could ever come up with, because otherwise they wouldn't be copying you. So you've got to sort of love them for that big compliment.
You have. And to be fair, actually, another competitor that I had, that I spent a bit of time stalking, almost wishing that I was there, I reached out and made contact, and it ended up sparking a friendship. So I don't think that necessarily your competitors are actually your competitors all the time. It's like a figment.
If they've got the right mindset, it's about all being together, and it's about, like, one of the things in coffee and cocktails is collaboration is really key. It's about coming together,
community.
And there's loads of things you can do together as businesses to collaborate, and like people in the same industry. And I say to my ladies who do keepsakes, like, actually, there's not a big problem if you're quite close to someone else, because you can actually join together and do big events together that you wouldn't be able to do alone. And I think it's just a mindset shift about me against them, and, like, how can I work with those people, how can I learn from them, how can I use it to up my game, what can I, you know. And actually, if you're in a business where you've got no competitors at all, you'll get sloppy, lazy, because no one's hot on your tail. But if you've got someone a bit hot on your tail, you're going to make sure you do a good job.
And say you do have a genuine friendship with these people, God forbid anything happens in your life and you have to let down a customer or client, you know that there's someone you can call on that also does a good job, and that can keep your, because at the end of the day, we all go into business, I'd say 90% of us go into business with a purpose, with a value, to want to give something to the world. And so your clients do genuinely mean something to you. You care about what you're giving them, you care about the service. And so if you can't give that, especially being self-employed, that's a real gut wrench. You just don't want to let them down. So say that there was someone you could call on 10 minutes down the road that could deliver a service that you know is good. Your client is kept happy, you get good feedback, you've helped someone else in business. It's just win-win.
But I think that's one of the things I'm most proud about, what I've done with the Keepsake Company, is that we've got a group of 50 ladies who all run the identical businesses with a few variations, but they all support and love one another, and there's no competition in there.
It's exactly the same.
Format. Because, and they do, can anyone do this keepsake because I'm busy or I'm not in that area, and there's a sharing, and there's such a great, because actually those ladies can be so much more support to each other because they know the industry inside out than anyone else in the world could ever be. So it's finding that,
I see a new world record coming on.
What's that?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
The biggest number of
similar companies.
Keepsake.
Okay. But I think there's something to, you know, and I think, and it's such a nicer world to live in if we're all just, it's not, and because it's buying into the fact that the world is abundant, there's plenty of customers for everybody. And actually, if a customer goes over to a competitor, like you were saying earlier, it's because they're right for that person, and they probably never would have bought from you anyway.
Yeah.
It's finding, and the people that do go around looking at all the people, different companies, and playing each other against each other, are the ones that buy on price, and they're not the customers you'd want anyway.
No.
You know, so yeah, you've got to love them and be friends, like you said. Buy them a coffee, see if there's anything you can do together.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how you can fall in love with your competitors. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
There's a couple of them.
Ah, the rules weren't meant for her anyway.
Oh, maybe.